and their families. It is a deep and personal tragedy.
Mesdames, Messieurs, bonsoir. I'm Pierre, and here is Nobu, and welcome for the 5th episode of Frenchy Taboo Talk. Today, we're going to leave the migration, immigration topic to move into something more interesting, I would say, something that never heard of, which is actually space junk. And also, we will talk about UFOs and also about the moon landing, but mainly about space junk. And for that, today, I have the joy and the privilege of having today with us Attila Ronto. Attila, thank you very much for your time. Welcome to Frenchy Taboo Talk. How are you today?
Thank you for being here. I'm very happy. I'm
Okay.
all right. Thank you.
Attila, to start off and kick off, please, would you introduce yourself to our 130 followers?
Wow. Hello, guys. My name is Dr. Attila Ronto. I became a Japanese specialist, and after that I had to get a normal degree, they say. So I studied environmental law, and I realized after a few years that we just not just polluted the earth, we also polluted the space already. First, it sounds so crazy that I didn't believe in it, and I started to collect materials and read and start to dig myself in it, and I found out this is very interesting and very dangerous topic.
How, how long have you been working on that topic for, actually?
I studying this like 15 years already, because when we come to environment protection, a lot of people say, yeah, but the world is have CO2 more. This natural. It's absolutely normal. The temperature goes up and high. Human beings are not responsible of it because it happens periodically, right? So there is nothing to do in our part. But in the atmosphere, in the space, we put 100% what is there. We put it, so we cannot say that it's happened.
So 15 years ago, and that's so funny because, when I met you, I didn't even know it was a topic. So I guess when you start having a look at it 15 years ago, you were really like a first mover in that topic. Please explain to us how many space junk there is, how did it started, why is it a problem? That would be my first any question.
Okay, just a general question shortly. And I think it was 1958, the first satellite sent to the space by Russia. Okay, that was the first air junk, or space junk, or space debris we also call, because they just sent there, they checked it. It moved 22 days. It was usable for 22 days, and it turned off, and it stayed there. I think it is still there. That was the first space junk. And then the Cold War put the war to the space. Who goes first to the moon? Who sent his first satellite? Who sent his first human being? They were Russian. And then a lot of objects were sent to the space.
What was the first initial goal or purpose of these satellites which were sent in the space initially? What was their mission?
It was information. They had idea that you can collect all information from the world, and of course, I believe since they were Russian and it was the verge of the war between two countries or two sides of the world. They most of them, I think, they had a purpose of the military uh, structure and see everything in the world, and also show the world that we are the best, we are the first. So who was the first who sent Sputnik? it was Russia. The first man and the first dog was Russia. But the moon landing, touched the moon, it was US. It was a big space competition. And
We will talk about that later. So, how many since 1958? So the Russians were the first one to send a satellite or around Earth's planet.
Yes.
Yeah. So for information purposes, was it photography? Was it like data? Do we know that?
they first was just checking how long, how much does it take, is it possible or not. I think the first was not really photography. They were radio signals. They tried to communicate first. Is it possible or not? It was just a test. But of course, the main purpose was taking photographies and see the world and get all information you want to get.
So now in 2026, how many satellites in 2026 were sent around planet Earth?
Already, I think it's already totally around 20,000. Approximately 8,000 doesn't work already. This is a space junk problem we will talk about later. And maybe working 10,000 because SpaceX give a big number, big hit to the numbers. So it was like this. The last 5 years, the same number of satellites were sent to the space than the previous 65 years. So this is like that.
Oh, exponentially.
Very exponential.
Can we have an idea? Because when we say a satellite, what is the average size or weight of a satellite? Is it like, how is it big? Is it small? Is it large? What it weighs? What is...
So a satellite, there are a few kind of satellites. There are one, I think the Hungarian university also had a program, is 10 centimeters multiply 10 centimeters, something box like this. This is just giving information. It can be like a refrigerator size, and some of them like the size of a car. This is normally the size.
And what the larger, the bigger it is, the more mission. What is it? Does all satellites have the same mission? I mean, is it like to gather information, to transmit signal, or there's different type of satellites?
There are different type of satellites accordingly what the satellite's main purpose. There are satellites for televisions, just get information and spread it to the world, and you can see maybe home like a sport television or something like that. And then also GPS data, which has a
ground position system. Ground GPS is for
yes, but you need four. So we have to talk about what we use this, right?
Yeah.
So some of them are just getting information and giving to information. There are satellites for video purposes, big photo purposes, and also there are for mobile phones and internet usage also. So there are a lot of job they're doing there, and also checking the weather. Some is checking the sun activity. It depends what is it for. There are research purpose installations. That's also checking the universe.
So you say there's 20,000 currently satellites around us. So 2/3 are still active, 8,000 more or less. Let's say 2/3 are still active. Do you need any license to send a satellite, a permission?
It's basically everybody has a right. So legally, there are some documents under UN. There is International Space Agency, European Space Agency. Usually, you send your specifications and the timing you want to send, and the place where you want to fit, what height you want to fit, and basically, I think nobody has a right to say no, because maybe it's strange, but as a lawyer, I can say that I don't believe international law exists. So if I say I will send one to the space, and someone say no, I can regardless can do it.
Okay. That leads us because you were telling me that so you were a lawyer, and then you pushed the studies into the space law, something like this, correct?
Yes, I also studied space law, and also there is I lived in Montreal. There are space law studies there too, and also in Scotland I studied environmental law. This is a fun part of environmental law. This is not debris or junk in the on the world, but at the in the space. So space law, it's very interesting that these things exist, but you have to. But problems occurred many times. It's the same like you have a car and somebody bump into you and break your car from behind at the red light. They have to pay some money for you. There are
Sure.
he has to cover your
Car insurance, casco,
yeah. But you know, it's happened in the space that two satellites collide and one destroyed, and these are millions of dollars. So they have to start to talk that who made mistake and who has to pay to who.
Yeah, but there's not a priority on the right coming for for
Yeah,
the cars.
yeah. There is no stop sign,
Yeah, there's no
something
stop.
like that.
Yeah, but because that's also a first question that come into my mind. So you send a satellite, you send it to a certain distance to the center of the Earth, and but do we have a track record? Do we? Is there like satellites and send on different layers? Do people go on a different layer, which is a distance from the center of the Earth? How does it work?
It's very interesting. It's first the debate starts from where the space starts, right? Some companies you can be a space traveler, right? SpaceX, you pay I don't know $25 million and you can go to the space. But there is no exact place that you can say from this point this is a space, and from here.
If I remember well, there's different layers. There's a ionosphere. There's different names of layers.
Yes, but one company say this is 80 kilometers. SpaceX takes you to 100 kilometers. So now we say that this is just a number, but approximately 100 kilometers from the ground. I wrote this.
Yes.
This is the Earth.
Yes.
So this is 100 kilometer.
Yeah.
And this is where the space starts. But this is just a number. There are no zero oxygen molecule there, then it's a space. So that's why they say 100 kilometers. But there are three layers. One layer is here. This is the closest orbit, low orbit we say. This is like from 200 kilometers to 600 kilometers from the ground, from the Earth ground, not the center.
Okay, so
Not
the
the
reference
center.
is the
Yes,
ground.
the ground level. So this is a low orbit. This is used for very good to be close to the Earth because the antenna shouldn't be so big, and the communication time also slower. So most of the satellites are in this range. That's the problem because people said in the 60s, 70s, we can have them space junk there because the space is too big. However, everybody wants to get close.
Is it less expensive to send closer to the ground?
It's smaller. You don't need so much energy to. So, for example, if you send it's a rocket, right, which brings there.
Yeah, let's go back to that point. How do you throw a satellite? How do?
Let me finish this. So there's a low orbit, a middle orbit, and a high orbit. And middle orbit is like 35,000 kilometers. This is good because if you, how can I say? So the Earth is moving like this, right? Rotating. And because the satellites are either faster or smaller rotating around the globe, if you want to have information all the time at one point, for example, above Budapest, you need a lot of satellites because if it moves, it has to move too. And one satellite always has to be above you. Okay? That's why they are moving like this. But if it 35 kilometers, 1,000 kilometers, the same speed, if we see it from the equator, the same speed moves the Earth. Then this is the satellite. So it always will be above your target.
Yes. Yeah.
So you need only one,
Okay.
because it will be always above you. However, it should be on the equator. Here in the north or south, you have to have a lot of satellites. Or at least one should be above your place.
Okay.
So you understand?
Okay.
Double?
I understand.
Yeah.
But attends, the thing is, has Hungary ever launched any satellites?
Hungary, one university has a Masat. It was the name Masat. Ma means Magyar, Sat means satellite, I think. So Masat was maybe 5 years ago, I just heard in a university just launched one with European Union support, I think. But these are you cannot move those. You just get it to the space and have observations, and maybe it checks the environment or the weather or something, and it comes down. When the energy goes off, it's falling down and burn it.
Okay, yeah, but attends. So let's go back to that question,
Yeah.
because there are satellites who goes and will fall down.
Yes.
Okay, but still now there's 20,000 satellites who never were planned to go down.
Yeah, it's an interesting question. A good observation. So it's always want to plan to go down.
Always.
Yes, because the basic situation was, it was a most important person on this matter is Kessler. Kessler was a professor of NASA. In 1978, he wrote a paper. Because two satellites was collided and broke to many pieces, and he observed it, and he says that if we will don't bring those back to the Earth, one day, and this day is here after maybe around 50 years, there will be too many junks there, and then it will collide and it break to pieces, and it starts a chain, an event when two collides and making what, like
Avalanche,
5,000
kind
pieces.
of an avalanche of a
Yes,
little
chain reaction.
snowball. Chain
Yeah, it's like a snowball. Yeah.
Okay.
Because the problem is there is no oxygen in the space, right? So these will be always there. After 5,000 years, they will be there. They never disappear. They just always come closer to the Earth, and one day it will burn in the layers, and maybe some falling down, some are not.
Whose responsibility would it be if suddenly there's some pieces of satellites or a satellite? Imagine, because either a satellite collides and creates junk, or a satellite is planned to go down. Who is tracking these risks actually?
There are two when you plan. There are two main agencies: the European and the
ESA?
World. Yeah, ESA and the World European International Agency. There are few, and they are responsible. But if you want to go back, why we have so much junk? The main topic is, when they started it, it has been decided that the last energy you have in your rocket or your any kind of or maybe your battery, because all the
No, but let's go to that, because the satellite is sent through a rocket. There's people in the rocket when
there are no.
automated, but there's
Automatic.
a rocket. There's a satellite in it.
Yeah.
You drop the satellite, the rocket comes back. So we manage the comeback of the rocket.
No, there are three layers. One is like I don't know how can I do this, but there are a lot of fuel. So when it started, one part goes down and falling back to the earth, right?
This is control.
This is control, a normal debris. But the second they goes up, and then the second part, when it opens and get out the
Energy of the solar.
the satellite, There's a second phase. This already stays at the space. That's already space junk.
Okay, so you
There
for
are
each satellite, there's a satellite which can become a space junk if he runs out of energy. Plus,
Yes, plus the this is the first, we call it first phase, it falls down. Second phase goes up and it opens it and let the
Satellite, yeah.
out. There are many methods of it. And there are also big steel and aluminium meters high rocket coverings and everything.
so I don't. So when you say there's 20,000 satellites,
Yeah.
it means there's 20,000 envelope made of steel that brought these satellites, which are also
Also, there the second phase, yeah.
huh.
So the plan was, you have this satellite around the world, around the globe, right? And when either way you have liquid energy or electric motor, whatever energy you have, energy source, it goes off someday, right? So, but you know that, like in your car, there are very little gasoline in your car, right? So the plan was, the last moment they turn down and make the last energy boost to the satellite, and it goes down to the ground and it burns, right? But they didn't do it.
For which reason?
The reason was they have still an energy, right? And energy, because why do you need energy? It's very important. Your satellite is going around the world, right? The Earth. But Earth has, it always goes closer to the Earth, right? Because Earth has
Attraction.
yes, yeah. And then you have to always push it back to the same position. Like turn on your engine for 5 seconds, go up, take your distance is very important for them. So when it comes closer, so, yeah, always turn
So
on the
you
engine,
maintain the
go up,
same,
and someplace after 5-10 years, the energy is off.
Are you saying that actually people rather use this energy to use the satellite forever so they can benefit data, sell it, make profit, instead of using this lack of energy to retrieve the satellite?
Yes. You could be
Is this
Is it? Yeah, because if you have one more push, you can either go down and your
Mission
money
is
is
over.
off, or you push one more time up and it gives you more 3 months, for example,
of
to
data
use,
that you can sell?
so you can sell and send and you can get
Uh-huh.
income, and finally you leave it there. That's the problem.
Okay, so now I think we pointed out the reason, if to sum it up, the reason why we have a huge problem of space junk is because human beings on planet Earth decided to benefit and make more money.
A little bit.
A bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
We had
greed,
it then-
greed.
Yeah, greed. We agreed on greed. So like 10 years you use it and you can use it 3 more months and leave it, and who cares?
The thing is, so that's human greed to create the space junk issue.
Absolutely.
But there is no law framework that put these people on any responsibility. In a way, what they are doing by their greed is not considered as being illegal.
It's basically illegal if you are if you get into this framework, like same like nuclear frameworks. If you sign in, you are in. If you sign out, you are out. International law cannot push you to do something. For example, China or the United States or France, leave there. What can you do? Say, please, no, I left it there. Okay. What can you do? You go with an army and attack the US? Or how can you force China or France or Italy or India to take this off? You cannot. You don't have it.
Okay, so we identified the issue of the space junk where there's kind of a gray zone for people to have greed and they can benefit it without having any problem. Now, what is the real danger of this?
So the real danger is one day this Kessler syndrome or Kessler effects we've been talking about will start. one more collision maybe between two objects, maybe one part, one satellite, or one part, and then it breaks 50,000 pieces. It goes around the world,
And it goes at extremely high speed, no?
it is. It depends. If they're closer to the Earth, it's faster to the move, faster the move. So it can be maximum 56,000 kilometers per hour,
Okay, so it means like it's quicker than a bullet of a weapon,
like 20 times maybe.
20 times.
A lot.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know exactly,
But if we take lower orbit with 20 times this speed, if an object like that goes down to Earth, maybe it's gonna be burnt, no?
yes, this is mainly burns, but not everything, and not all the time. For example, aluminium burns, but aluminium oxide with the it can break the ozone, so it's very bad for ozone. Plastic can burn, that's fine, but
Still,
normal steel is sometimes, it depends of the size. Aluminium burns, but iridium and some things, titanium doesn't burn. So some things are falling down to the earth all the time.
did we ever register the case where someone who got killed because of a piece of junk coming to the Earth?
Killed, not yet, but I have some. I think I have some times, dates, like in Texas, 1977, 3 objects fall down. Saudi Arabia, 2001, Java, 2016. Parts of the engine are falling down. Even SpaceX said that the engine, the Titan part of the engine, the Titan won't burn. So there was in Australia where a huge chunk fallen down into the desert.
What size? Like
It was like a refrigerator.
a refrigerator
yeah.
coming at what speed when it goes?
When it comes, it's 50,000. It slows down with the air, of course, burns. But if it hits someone, it would be death, that's for sure. Once it had happened that I think Australia, something fall from the space and just scratched one lady in Australia. She was very, very lucky. One steel part just come like this. And I think in Japan also were somebody hurt in at the sea, some seamen.
Out of if we look since 1956, who are the people sending all these satellites? Is this government agency? Is this private companies? Is it military? Is it because I mean also my point is if you're using a satellite to spy, are you gonna say to everyone, "Hey guys, I'm gonna send a satellite to spy"? And if you tell me this, I could say, "I'm gonna shoot your satellite." And weapons, is there any warfare? Because at the end of the day, my dad was in the French Air Force. Now, French Air Force is not French Air Force. It's space and French Air Force. So they included now in that title that the space is included in the Air Force.
Yeah.
So, but there's 2 questions in what I want to say.
Yes.
Is who is sending the satellites? Do they declare exactly what it is? And who's going to be responsible in case there's an incident?
Of course, states started it, like NASA, for example, the Russian state, or Soviet Union.
NASA, you mean NASA, the American agency
yeah.
who took loads of Frenchy Taboo Talk here, who took loads of actually Nazis after the Second World War to be involved in their space program.
Yeah, and also the Manhattan Project.
Yes.
The rocket scientists have come from
the V2
Berlin.
rocket from the Nazis were very efficient.
Yes.
What is the Manhattan Project?
Is the project to make the bomb for Hiroshima and Nagasaki. This was also helped with German scientists. But go back to the
let's go back to
go back to the space.
Yeah.
That's easier. So the government started it, but it was very expensive, and also NASA said that the SpaceX said that for the NASA to launch a rocket, it was like 10 million signs at the end of the project. So everything should be signed. It's very slow process because it's a state included in it. But after that, they say, okay, the private entities can do it cheaper. That's when SpaceX came to the picture.
This is the only private entity worldwide who can
No, I
do
think
that.
there is some. No, there are more. There are one Australian company also. There are new companies sending. There are now Chinese and also Indians. So they started it, but after that, the states start to outsource it because it's a commercial activity after all. For one part, television, for example, internet, and states get these spy satellites, of course, and you can destroy other satellites. And actually, they started it with China did it, US did it, and also these two countries actually made rockets at this. They already destroyed their own old decommissioned satellites already targeted and destroyed 3 times in the history.
So they destroyed their own satellite or they destroyed other countries' satellites?
No, their own unused.
What? So people cannot take the technology?
No. They just want to. They had to test the rockets at the space.
Okay.
If destroy someone else.
Okay, so they do it on
They
their
did
own.
it with their own. Those old satellite doesn't work already for a long time, so they destroyed it. They show to the enemy that we can destroy your your spy
I
satellite.
never heard about that. That's
Yeah.
so interesting.
The problem is, okay, you destroy one satellite, and there are many debris after that, thousands, and this comes around the world, maybe 1,000 years, maybe 2,000 years, and somehow it will start this chain reaction. Finally, maybe 2 days later or 3 days later, your satellite will be destroyed. The debris you caused
Yes.
for the other.
There's no accountability in the space.
No.
Basically.
There is no accountability in the earth either.
Yes.
Now we are talking 2026 March,
Yeah.
when Iran happened and
Yeah.
Venezuela and Cuba and these problems. Now it's absolutely with the Donald Trump president. Donald Trump already said it. What I said years ago, that basically international law doesn't exist because you cannot force it. Okay, I destroy your satellite at this space. Okay, I'm sorry. That's it.
Is there any researchers warning us about the potential threat of this space junk? Because is it dangerous for like human Earth citizens of this? What is happening now in the space with all these satellites? Is there any risks?
Actually, if it starts, we talk about Professor Kessler. So go back to the point. In a low orbit, there are 20,000 objects, big objects, but there are more than 1 million steel object which is bigger than 1 centimeter. 1 million. And the smaller
1 million bullets, basically.
Basically bullets, absolutely. And the smaller than that, no one knows. Maybe 130 million small particles.
That could kill a small particle?
Then, if it goes around the world, around the earth, I think it's like, I think it needs 24 hours. It depends how far is it from the earth to get one round. So it's coming always. Because if I have a junk, because we have gravitation, we have this junk. It goes down and it stays there. No danger, right? Even if it's a knife or whatever. But there are space junk falling down the space junk is about from 400 kilometers, like 10 years, 600 kilometers, for 25 years, 800 kilometers, 1,000 years. It will stay there thousands of years and grind everything. So from now on, if it happens, after that will be a lot of small chunks, and you cannot go to the space anymore. Because if you start a rocket with person, whatever, it breaks, it goes bumps into something and it destroys.
So people every time, let's say the example of SpaceX, they must know this issue. They must assess that risk because it's a potential collision would destroy their rocket and destroy like multi-millions of stuff. So they must know exactly what's over there, in a way. No?
I don't understand.
you
I
think-
think it's
or you think-
crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy because Elon Musk plan is to have 100,000 small satellite.
I saw them sometimes, you know.
Yeah,
the
now
risk,
there is 10,000, but it's already full. And he will kill his own business. I don't know why he does it. Because in certain point you should stop and say, like, okay, let me say an example. You have a field and you have horses, and you have more horses. You are more richer. You have more horses. But at some point, the horses eat all the grass, and there will be nothing to eat, and they die out.
Can we put a frame of time? Is it like in 5 years? Is it in 10 years?
We cannot do that.
So nobody knows. It's
Nobody
a kind of the
knows.
far west time, actually.
Nobody knows.
And by the way, does space belong to any country? Space?
No, the spaces belong to anyone.
Ah,
So the space law started with a space mining idea that maybe in a moon or maybe in a Mars sometime later we can have mine, and we have to talk about the ownership. Who's this field is belong to? So now we have an agreement that everybody can go to the moon, use a place which this country or company wants to use, and this is used. They can own it until they use it. So this is a kind of lease, or I don't know, not ownership. You cannot have ownership about it.
thing is, you need at the end of the day, by the nature of the game, not everybody can send a satellite. So
Yeah,
there's a few
yeah.
applicants for this.
Yeah. Now I think there are 48 countries in the world which is included in some kind of space program, like Hungary also. But we just sent an astronaut to the space a year ago.
So to kind of, if we wanted like to make a clear message about, if I understand well, so we have lots of satellites running around, potential bullets. We might have an avalanche effect. Nobody is really accountable for. I mean, if someone gets killed by your space stuff, well, you're dead, and good luck for you to get any repair of that trauma. What is for you the most concerning part? And if you wanted like to do like a summary for our 132 followers.
So what these followers should know is that if it happens, what's going to happen? How this event will affect your life? Because you say, it's not important, it's far away.
Yeah.
We have wars 500 kilometers from here. Why we think about it? So if next event, when these two big maybe satellites, any other object, there are many objects there, space stations, for example, there are a few, collide, breaks to 10,000 pieces and hit something 10,000 pieces, the chain gets through this event, and then what's going to happen? First, what people will observe is that your internet is not that fast. Your GPS can be strange because some destroyed, but the others can take over the others' jobs.
Chain reaction effect.
Yeah, but after 2, 3, 4, the same same height or same place, then you don't have television. The satellite television turn off right away.
5G off.
And then the internet, your mobile will turn off, And a very, very important thing, which is very dangerous for those who like to travel, your your card, you cannot get cash from your money from your card.
Attends, so you mean that basically it's not only television, it's not only watching
Yeah,
amazing
yeah,
podcast, but it's also you cannot withdraw money on your ATM.
yeah. Especially when you're far away from your country. Probably, if you are in Hungary and you have a Hungarian card, you may because there are internet connection there. But if you travel to US or France or maybe Japan,
So for all travelers,
that moment would be very difficult. You cannot get your money.
do you have any? That's very interesting, actually. Do you have any? Do you think this could happen?
It will happen.
So
It's
it's
100% sure. What is not sure when is gonna
when
happen,
is gonna happen?
because we didn't stop this activity. Like it were years when you have only one satellite or two satellite
Yeah, you
sent
said like
per year.
within the last
Yeah.
year we sent more than what we send.
In the last 65 years. Yeah, because
So we threw exponentially
absolutely.
stuff on the space, and in 1 year. That's actually the big threat actually here.
This is a big threat because before it was one rocket, one satellite. It was very expensive. Now SpaceX made that you have in one rocket you can have 20 or 40. There are small boxes. It comes out like in Japan, the origami. This solar panels fold up like this, and this goes and next. So they are doing it efficiently, but after that, when it starts to break, the people who will be at the air that time will be in trouble because GPS is very important for the airplanes, especially. So whenever those people who will fly that moment will be in trouble. And also like submarines cannot really work without GPS, and all these big ships, oil and even cruisers with tourists.
People have to be prepared to get up the sextant.
Very, very difficult.
No,
job
but
to
it's
be.
true. So that's
Very,
actually
very
the most
important.
stuff. If there's a chain effect of collision of all this space junk that kill all other existing satellites, payment system, GPS, hence airplanes, boat is off, and we go
24
back into
hours.
like
Like 1960s.
1960s, good old days. I
Yeah.
was not born, but
Probably, we don't know yet. We have simulations, but no one knows the truth. What's gonna happen? Because maybe your phone you can use your mobile phone normally because they're ground from the ground, because there are like towers,
yes,
so you can use those for normal telephone conversation.
but no more WhatsApp, no more social
Yeah,
network.
probably that would be difficult, especially for faraway countries.
Uh-huh.
Because I don't understand it very well, but because Einstein real theory comes to the picture, relativity parts, because the satellites are moving faster than us, so they have to calculate the time what is in the Earth, and if you need GPS, you need 4 satellites and have the same time. You should know where are you at the same time at the same place, because when you move in your car, for example, your position is moving. So if we need four satellite signal, and we need to know that special second where you are, and these atomic clocks always in the satellites. So when you want to get money, you always get, even if you take your money with your French card in United States, you have a time. When did you get this money? And without satellites, you don't have this time calculating strategy. So GPS definitely won't work. And also, in the big cities, many information used by moving by internet. For example, big cities like New York and Tokyo, sometimes satellites help the traffic light, red, yellow, blue, green, right?
Yeah, but yeah,
If
but
it stops, it can be a trouble. So maybe it will be
chaos.
accident,
But
chaos.
attends, internet, is it connected to satellites?
Some places, because internet mostly goes under big cables underwater. But for faraway places, if you, for example, from Japan, if I call to Budapest, definitely in one part goes to the goes through to the uh, satellite system. So the one part, yes, your home internet would be good, I think. Your wire with your routers.
Okay.
That would be good. But I think the lot of everybody wants to go through these channels with these cables, and if we miss the space, I think these channels will be full.
Financial markets.
Financial markets will collapse that day.
Wow. Big point. Now, the thing is, we were talking about space, and at the end of the day, we're on a Frenchy Taboo Talks. And we'd like to talk about the Apollo 16 mission. 16 or 11?
You
11.
talk about
The moon, the first moon landing.
I think it was Apollo 11.
Apollo 11. Yeah, loads of conspiracy theories around that. And I would like to say, what's your view on it? And there's many people who think that it was fake. There are videos of Stanley Kubrick saying that he filmed it. There's inconsistencies of shades. There's the flag that floats where it shall not. There's the NASA who lost the original stuff. There's once a day Vladimir Putin visiting a place who detect fake videos, and it says, yeah, this video was registered. What is your take on that? Do you believe there's also the meeting after of the astronauts who were showing a face of very sad people after they supposedly walk on the moon? What's your take on this?
So it's a very interesting topic, difficult to talk about it all, but there are questions of the theories about this video footage, fakeness of this video footage, right? But if you check it, the all length of the footages, because there were 4 or 5 camera, it's 11,000 hours together. So usually people say this short clip when they are jumping and running and talking, and they say, oh, okay, this is strange, this part is strange. So is it possible to fake it? Yes, I think it's possible to fake a 5-minute short film, but to fake 11,000 hours I think it's
well,
rather
the NASA
impossible.
said after they lost it, and there's also a guy from NASA who said basically that they ditch all the technology to go back to the moon. There was something a bit weird. Well, let's put back the frame. There was the space space rush between the capitalism and communism. So the first one who get there is gonna win. Do you believe straight? Do you believe Apollo 11, did they really went on the moon? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, so you believe in it?
Yes. Because, first of all, this is also space junk, and it's very difficult to think how terrible the human beings are, that the moon is already full of trash. So the Apollo 11 staff also left their trash there. The rubber boots they left there, 4 pairs, and vomit bags, if you know, why is it? And the car they moved there.
Yes.
And many things they left it because you can have you can spare some energy getting the go up with a lighter chassis, right? So they left many things there, and now when the Chinese have this the last picture of the moon, they were there. So the trash they left is there already.
Huh.
So
Okay.
they think I think
But Chinese is the only country who went on the other side of the moon.
yeah
Right?
they are very professional. I think and
Nobody went on the other side of the moon, right?
Yes.
Because actually, the moon is a satellite of planet Earth, but we only see one side, and they went on the other side. Why nobody went on the other side?
First, I think it was easier to go this side. They want to see the Earth, and also it was an idea that if the um, moon is moving, the black side is minus I don't know 270. I don't know how many degree. So if you put something there in one rotation, everything is destroying. But Chinese had an idea that okay, we see this side, the typical or Western and Eastern thing. We see this part. They say the Western people we want to check it. The Chinese says no, we cannot see that part. Let's go this way. And also NASA openly give the information they got to the public. So I think Chinese thought that maybe they would check the other side to
Did
see
they
the difference.
share anything about what they saw on the other side?
Yes, they share many things. It was actually different structure of the sand, because they said after that if it was a big collision and it was probably the moon, it started take some materials from the earth and moved. It was hot, but the other side cooled down faster. One side cools down faster, and those side of the moon, which is towards the sun, it cools down slowly a little bit.
But China sent some people on the other side of the
Yes,
moon.
yes.
Nobody talks about it, by the way.
Yeah. Now I think 24 people were in the Mars, well, on the moon, and this is full of trash already. Can you believe it? 24 people.
No accountability,
No, just
And I
leave the
guess it
trash.
gives a lot of money
Yeah.
to retrieve.
I think Japanese would take it and take it back to home. But first of all, questions, and maybe I would like to answer you one by one. How does it come, this notion that we never been there? First of all, I can imagine that it was one more film made. In the case, if it doesn't happen, then they can show something to the Americans. American people and the government doesn't want to say, I made a mistake, it was wrong. They believed it 100%. So they say, okay, maybe it was another B plan.
Yeah.
But first of all, one thing was in the question that that was only one light source, because everybody talking about the shades.
Yeah, the shade. That's one of the main conspiracy stuff which is brought. The shades of the guys, no stars in the shades.
Yes. No stars. You are photographing, and there are photographers here. It's very interesting. If you take photography and your settings are normal photography settings for the Earth, you won't see the stars. If you take the light from the black background and you want to see the stars, the picture will be white, burned out. It's absolute normal photography. Even if your camera, if you go out, you can do it. So if you have to, either because a black and a white is a big difference, right? So that's why if you measure your camera to the space, then you will see the stars, but the space, the ground will be absolutely burned out white. Mm-hmm. Everybody's seen this kind of picture. Mm-hmm, so this is first of all. And second, you if you have if you have one light source, but the light source is close, like here before us, there always the shades goes a little bit different direction. In order it should be go the same direction, the light should be very, very far from us. So at least if it was, if you want to make it with lighting, the lighting should be 2.5 kilometers behind you. So I think it's not really
Yeah,
possible.
but how could you explain that these three astronauts who made history were so sad and so weird when they come back to have the talk?
I don't know that. I have no information. They were silent, that's for sure. Then
It
they
is so
were
weird.
Yeah, maybe they have also been shocked. That's for sure.
Maybe they all get done by the woman at
But
the time.
I don't know. But I know there are certain questions. First is a flag theory, because in the American flag, maybe you can cut it in.
Yeah.
The American flag is moving a little bit. So why is that? Because, and you can check it in a chamber, in a vacuum chamber. If you move something light now, it stops, because the particles of the oxygen and air particles moving in it, and it stops the movement. But if you are in vacuum and you move something, it moves a long time, because nothing is stopping it.
There's no atmosphere.
No atmosphere, no atoms stop it.
No atmosphere means no particle of oxygen.
Yes, no nitrogen, nothing. So that's why if in the space, if you start to move something, it will move a very long time. So they checked it in vacuum chambers.
Okay.
They put a flag in a vacuum chamber, they hit it, and it moved, because nothing is stopping it.
And was it moving on the?
Yes, it was moving. First of all they made a 90-degree frame to the American flag, because they know that it won't be any.
We cannot see.
You cannot see it because there is no wind.
Yeah.
So they make it 90 degree. First they say, it's 90 degrees, it shouldn't, and they realize it. And after it's moving, when the guy is pushing down and move a little bit and he leaves, if you see the originals, it moves long time because nothing is stopping it.
But NASA lost the original tape.
I think not all of it, because there were 6 cameras. One or two camera lost. But the other was also
losing like one of the most historical moment of humankind.
Yes.
You lost it.
Happens.
Mistake.
It would be difficult to take pictures there.
Yeah.
So the other question was that time that people say that astronauts were on wires, right? That was the other theory. But first of all, there are thousands of hours, so it would be difficult. Secondly,
I didn't know that actually.
When they fall down, if you fall down on the side, then these wires should be on the way. So it would be very, very difficult, because when you're jumping, that's all right, but they are jumping a little bit right and left, because it is, I think it's they have like 40 kilos on their back, and it was very difficult to move in it. But they move in left and right, and they fall down left and right, which would be impossible if you have a wires, because it can go to your face under your hand.
Okay.
So probably it's not.
So we were like, indeed, we did, the moon was a little bit fantasy of mine, because I always believed that actually we never land on Apollo 11, but you demonstrated our auditors with fact that actually,
Probably been, yes.
Yeah, and to be honest, Nobu left, he has an injury to the leg, but, I'm going to go to the, medicine for him today. Coming back to the first topic, if the Kessler effect happening, aka avalanche effect, destroying all the satellites and GPS system, what would be the recommendation you would have for our 132 followers of how to prepare to that?
We can mitigate the problem, because after this, everything will break down. They will build up other system to take away this kind of jobs what satellites did. But very important that you should always have cash, because it will be a money problem at the first. Last year it was Spain. It was electricity off. You remember?
Yes, yes.
And the shops were open, but they cannot
Withdraw any money.
withdraw any money, and also you cannot pay cash in the shops. So the shop owner said, if you have cash, you can buy anything, because everything went down. And
Cash is king.
Cash will be king again. Especially youngsters, those who prefer cars, can be trouble. So you always have to have some cash at home somewhere. This is the first. Second, if you have a normal analog phone like a wire, you should keep those, because that will work. That will be working. That's fine. And maybe if you have old fax machines, I'm absolutely sure we will go back to fax machines for a while, because probably the internet will be so crowded that will be very big data issues.
But just to come back to clarify the internet stuff, either people communicate through fiber optic and cables.
Yes.
On which cases an internet is using satellites?
There are places, for example, under Russia, there are no big cables. There are parts in the world, like Africa, many places. You have only satellite internet. That will be trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Those, like in Scandinavia, Anglia, Great Britain, they have wires.
By the way, if at the same time there's Kessler effect and some boats are cutting the cables, are cables who connect all the continents are being protected?
Yeah, you remember this the Russian boat
in
northern sea. They broke it up. Yeah, I think the Western world, China, Japan, did everything what they can. But in Japan, very difficult to, for example, do it underground, because there are earthquakes, and these wires can be broken because effect of the earthquakes. So there are difficult countries. It will be differ by continents.
So as a sum up, if Kessler effect happens, get cash. Good point for all the thieves in the world. Have a nice safe. Now should be sponsored by Safe Institution now.
Should be.
Yeah. Cash, landlines.
Maybe fax machine, if you have, just keep it on the shelves.
Yeah.
One day maybe you might use it.
All right.
And have your maps, because GPS, you should have a map in your car.
Yes. Maybe go back to the map.
We go back to the map, that's for sure.
Okay. Last topic I would like to talk about you, because now we've never been into so much disclosing. David Grush in 2023, an ex-Air Force U.S. intelligence guy who came out of the bush and actually said there was some retrieving program of recovering UFOs named unidentified flying object, which has been rebranded into UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomena. That guy actually was also a pilot helicopter. He recovered that kind of sort of eggs by himself. Mm-hmm. When you hear him talking about that, he felt that there was telepathy with the people or people not inside, I don't know. But that's what he says. And people retro-engineering this technology. And he says it's been existing for a while. In February 2026, Donald J. Trump asked people to start disclosing some information about these phenomena. Maybe potentially for him to, get away from the Epstein file and with Iran war. So yeah, there's never been so much people talking about that. And me, I would like to remind, I'm 44. When I was 18, I was a big fan. I had like a booklet to go to school. I printed like some UFO stuff. And at the time, when I was talking about that, people were considering me as being completely crazy, that it doesn't exist. So Attila, what is your take? Is there any other species that exist in the world? Did they come to visit us? Are they living with us? And what's your take on this?
It's very difficult. From a space side, I cannot talk about it because I don't have evidence. I've seen everything like you do, and we have talks. But as a historian, I'm doing a tour guide jobs like 20 years ago, so I go very interesting places in the world. And if you study the history of the humankind, there are points where absolutely big knowledge jumps are there in the science. Like 200,000, 300,000 years, the people lived in caves, right? Small wooden houses, and used wood and some stone, easy stone tools. And then within 100 or 200 years, they start to build pyramids. And after that, they go back to the same site. So scientifically, even if it's mathematics, physics, history, linguistics, if you see the knowledge accumulating by by time, it goes like this, like 200, 300,000 years. We live the same way. Sometime we get start to use fire, and after that nothing happens. But usually in mathematics and everything goes like this. We have every generation of the scientists give us new scientific things. Like the buildings. The first building was 10 meters, 50 meters. Now the tallest is 1,000 meters, right?
In Dubai. Yeah?
In Dubai. Burj Khalifa. So the knowledge, for example, in case of the buildings, is like this: goes normally, and the pyramids go up, and go down again, because the pyramids made in 300 years only.
So
And after they stopped to make it.
I ask you like about UFOs, UAPs, and you're coming to the pyramids. And so, you know what? I think it's correlated. Should I remind for everybody, at the moment the pyramids are being created, humankind did not created the wheel.
Yeah.
So the wheel does not exist at the time they created the pyramids. You told me that you've been as a tour guide also.
Yes, I go there very often.
So now let's turn my question is UFO, UAPs into, let's talk about the pyramids. So
We can
do
talk about
you believe the pyramids were man-made like?
This is impossible. In many, many reasons. The size of the project, we say the pyramids is tall and high and big, but under it, the base is 10 times bigger than what is above the ground.
People said a little hammer,
Yeah.
a little scissor, and using pieces of wood and ropes, and you push it. Yeah.
If those who've been there are 140, 200, even 1,200 tons of solid rocks.
Loads of ropes. And
They pushed it. This is impossible. When we get there, we said, okay, let's go and hold it up just for 1 centimeter. This is impossible. And also the limestone is all right. It's quite soft, but the diorite, marble, because that time was Stone Age. Stone Age.
Let's talk about this diorite place that you told me about, because it's diorite. So explain what is diorite.
There's a kind of stone which is very, very hard. It's something. I think the hardest is a diamond with number 10, and diorite is like 8.5 something. It's
8.5 on which scale?
Basically this is one of the hardest stone in the world.
Okay.
Like marble.
Okay.
If you try if you have
with the
little
hammer and the scissor, tick, tick,
if you try it, it will be broken right away, and there are no ropes who can hold it. The people cannot push it up, so it's difficult. But what is sure, it's not just in Egypt. There are pyramids in Mexico, Russia, China, Bosnia maybe. I've been there, but it's underground maybe. But
China is not disclosing
anything, because they think that the Chinese Communist Party is the strongest, and it was not their culture. Maybe it was another culture. Even Egyptian museologists closing doors, and they say from now on you cannot go inside.
Mm-hmm.
So what is sure, that from 0 point in one moment of the history was a big jumps in knowledge, in scientific knowledge, in every mathematics and everything, every field, which was it was 12,000 or maybe 13,000 years ago when jump up and the knowledge came down. Because if you want to build a pyramid now, it is impossible. Some guy asked the four biggest company who build big buildings. They say, four of you, can you make a pyramid? No, maybe 200-300 years, and this is impossible.
What is also very, the biggest one, Pyramid of Gizeh, so there's a conspiracy theory of Orion with an alignment of all the pyramids with a constellation, but also there are, in the biggest Pyramid of Gizeh, a ray of light which is, like a beat within all these blocks. So at that time, people don't have any architectural softwares to assemble and to create with all these pieces like a tunnel of light. What we call the king chamber.
Yeah.
There was no sarcophage found in this.
No.
Some people believe that it was a creation of energy.
Yes, I also believe in this theory. First of all, if you go there, I've been there last year, there's a hole you can go in. Just, almost, you cannot walk really. You're growing down. And the objects inside the king's room is bigger than the hole itself. So it should be put before they close up. And also, those people in Mexico and also in Egypt, those people who's been asked, if your tribe built it, they say, even in Mexico, Inca and tribes, that no. When our ancestors arrived here, it was there already. So it's probably 13,000 years. So the knowledge side, because we have no truth. I don't have any facts in my hand. But the knowledge, which is, we want very, very quick period of time, the human beings, population was finding new things. The writing system came quickly. And then after that, the wheat, and we start to growing things. We start to use water, and we have barley and oak, and rice. It was very quick period.
If it was not man-built, what is your take on this? Who did it?
So basically, there is one thing we didn't talk about it. Our civilization, before our civilization, it must be another civilization, which were at a higher standard than ours. And some reason it disappeared, probably because of the
big asteroid that
asteroid. And it was a ice age, probably. So there are periodical history. Like our civilization will be destroyed one day, probably if we do like this very soon, and another civilization will start. And this is destroy. Something is burning, destroying, burning. Like the same time, like a people, you burn, you born, and you die. Civilization do the same. So probably before our civilization was another civilization, which were in higher standards, and those civilization build this building. This is a non-UFO theory.
It's connected to it, by the way, because how could they come to Earth?
Yeah, but also there is another theory that this extra quick knowledge within few hundred years,
can die.
It should come somewhere, and probably this extra knowledge we have got came from some other civilization, from another star or another. I don't know, maybe Orion. I don't know where, but this knowledge, it's very, very important. That
the thing is, for sure. And that's what I was thinking, because, the first time I thought about that, there was something very clearly Well, this is a phone ringing. It's part of the. Yeah. Damn it. It's okay. Let's continue. That's live, and that's the way it is. I remember the first time I was like 22 years old. I was watching Euronews, and there was that guy who said, "Please, guys, disclose, because disclose the technology used by these UAPs, UFOs." The thing is, if this technology is being shared, the whole oil industry collapse.
Yeah, could
Now,
be.
attends. And you imagine all our industries are based on oil, a derivative of oil, plastic, oil. So it will be like not only people will suddenly maybe stop paying their taxes, because why would I pay taxes to my government if there's someone bigger, stronger? And second, it will be. I do believe this is why there's a cover up so much about UFO, UAPs. But I do believe it's been now we have so many proof of video that this technology exists, and there's been a guy out of the bush, David Grush. There was in 2023 he went out, and there's been a Congress staff, and these guys are not fanatics. These guys actually retrieved. He was piloting the helicopters. He retrieved these eggs that are being summoned. Please check me, guys. What I'm saying is like not me. It's online. People have the psychic abilities to bring these eggs down to earth. And maybe I would like to close about that. And so first of all, thank you very much for coming today, sharing your knowledge about like space junk. I never heard about it, and this is something which is people should be aware of, and it's interesting, enlightening, and things happen out there. Let's be aware of it. I will share obviously all your profiles and stuff. If people wants to travel to Japan, you speak fluently Japanese, by the way.
Yeah.
Can you say a last word in Japanese to conclude this?
Sayonara. Sayonara means see you again.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
See you soon. Thank you for your time.
Thank you
And
for
thank you for your knowledge.
thank you for having me.
Bye bye.